Hi, I'm Catherine Bryant,
And I'm Hong Young.
and we are here for our Civil Engineering 551 final term project
Yes.
on Does Vehicle Color Affect Driver Behavior? Previous studies have been done and they show that in general, light colored cars are in fact safer than darker colored cars. However, under a microscope, the relationship between car color and safety is still somewhat unclear and inconclusive. The studies that have been done do show that light colored cars are safety, but there is no real distinction between the dark colored cars, such as blue and green. In one study, light colored cars, such as white and yellow cars, were shown to be safer than black colored cars. In a second study, it was shown that silver cars are about half as likely as white cars to be involved in serious injury crashes, whereas the darker colored cars, such as black, brown, and green, were twice as likely as white cars. In a final study, it was determined that white has the lowest crash risk compared to darker colored cars that are lower on the visibility index, but it would also suggest that environmental factors do play into the study. It is particularly hard to find a relationship between car color and safety due to the many outside variables. These include background color, weather conditions, a disproportionate number of vehicle colors that can be involved in the study, and the time of day, such as white is most visible at night, and then, of course, if you're in the snow, white is going to throw you off more than a darker color car. Lime yellow stands out against sunny skies and snowy backdrops better than white does, and red looks black at night and is also has a poor peripheral detection throughout the day, and it can look darker all during all times throughout the day. So red is slightly biased. So me and Hong Tai wanted to see if we would get the same results. If in fact, if the lighter color cars would drive at a slower speed, thus implying that they would have a lower crash risk as they were safer than darker color cars. We went out and took our survey in Knoxville, Tennessee, between the roads of Kilbury Road Northwest and Coleman Road Northwest. In Knoxville, it runs parallel to I-75 and 40 here, to see what we would get if we would get about the same results, just to see if drivers, in fact, if their behavior was in fact to drive slower and thus more cautiously than darker colored cars. At the site, when we went for 4 different days to take our measurements, the weather was always sunny and clear. The speed limit on the roadway, both in the northbound and southbound direction, was in fact 35 miles per hour. Things that we kept in mind when we were performing our study was to not count vehicles that were following other cars, to not count cars that were following police cars, because naturally they would be going the same speed as a police car as the car in front of them, and it, of course, throw off our calculations and our numbers. And we also tried to face in the opposite direction of when we were taking our speed, which we did with our radar gun, because if cars could see that we were holding a radar gun, they would, of course, adjust their speed and, in fact, influencing our results negatively because we would not get a real speed. The items that we recorded were the vehicle type, vehicle color, vehicle speed, data, starting and end time, weather, and direction. As you can see, based on the total number of cars, you can see the distribution that we got of their, this is the x-axis is their speed and the number of cars. As you can see, they all generally, but of course not exactly, mimic a normal distribution, showing that there is a average mean speed and that everybody falls along the side, which is exactly what we want, showing that not one particular car color was driving excessively faster or excessively slower, which would be consistent with previous results. I will now throw it to Hong Tai, and we'll finish our presentation.
Yeah. No. So we are starting at southbound vehicles. We kind of record 345 vehicles, and there is a vehicle number and percentage here. Show how many vehicles of each color we recorded. And this is a chart and the table for the mean speed and standard deviation of the vehicle of the speed of each vehicle color. Surprisingly, most of the vehicles were speeding, because the speed limit is is 35 miles per hour, and most of the cars are kind of driving at a speed bigger than that. We found that on the southbound vehicles, the 5, the red cars and the green cars are faster than the other vehicles, and the brown and black vehicles drive slower than vehicles of the other colors. And this is a survey summary for the northbound vehicles. It also shows the vehicle number we took and the percentage of each color, but there are only 88 vehicles we took, so we didn't calculate the mean speed and the standard deviation for these northbound vehicles. This is for both directions. It is the sum of the northbound and southbound. Altogether, we took 433 vehicles, and we found that the white and the black color is the most popular color. This is also the speed chart, and it turned out to be that yellow vehicles has the biggest speed, because in the northbound vehicle record we found that one yellow car drive as fast as 64 miles per hour, and on the other hand the red and green cars are still driving faster than the other colors. So to sum up, we have several discoveries. The most popular vehicle color is white and black, and yellow, red, and green vehicles drivers were faster than other vehicles. Also, blue and brown vehicles drive slower than vehicles of other colors. We have some deficiencies in this study. The first one is the vehicles that actually taken into account were not taken stochastically, because vehicles were distinguishable colors were more likely to be recorded, like white cars and black cars and red cars. The vehicles colors such as brown and gray were less likely to be recorded. It is just because of our unconscious thing or something like that. Also, some of the vehicles drivers could see we are measuring speed, so they kind of slow down their driving speed on purpose. That also influenced the accuracy of our survey. And in the future, we need to collect more data to increase the sample size, and also we need to use some statistic method to analyze whether this data could reflect the speed difference between vehicles of different colors, because whether this difference actually exists in the real world. And the last one is the references. I hope you enjoyed it. Dr. Han.
Yeah, me. Wait, you gotta carry
Okay.
on.